You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. If you are worried about passing away and not having things organized, or if you know someone that's going through something very, very difficult, this is the episode for you to listen into. So it's going to be a little bit dark and sad, but super, super helpful based on experience that one of our colleagues recently had. Hello, James.
Aloha.
You've been missing in action. What was happening in your world?
Yeah, so it's been a really challenging period. My mum passed away very recently, and after an illness, for the last year or so. So we've been going through that process with mum and my family and trying to, just get through it. And it has been pretty incredible in some ways because we knew that mum was unwell. So we knew that we didn't have much time. So it's gone as well as you could expect something like that to go.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, I don't know.
So, of course, first of all, my condolences. And can I just say what a beautiful ceremony you had for mum on Monday?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what got you thinking, right? You just confessed to me that you were standing there emceeing at your mum's celebration of life.
Yep.
And then you thought that this subject is important to cover for our listeners.
Oh, gosh, yes. I mean, and when I had the opportunity to come back to work today and be on the podcast, it was like, what an ideal topic, because I could just see how my mum had organised her life and how she had organised everything afterwards. Like, we knew exactly what to do when my mum passed away. She had everything planned.
Sounds like a very organised woman.
Oh, absolutely. So I knew a year ago that I suspected anyway. I think mum had said something to me about me emceeing her funeral, and I was a little bit horrified at the time because I'm like, I can get up and talk in front of people, but can you talk in front of a group of people in that situation?
Yeah, because you're grieving, right?
Yeah.
I mean, something big happened, significant happened to you and your family. You've just lost your loved one, and then you have to get up on stage and MC and make sure the whole service ticks along.
Yep. But then I also saw it as a major honour, having that. So you step up, you have to do it. But, not just that, but mum had every single element of that service planned, and it just, if you're going to go through that process, and, we talk to people all the time, our clients, some of them are older, and they've, most of my dad's friends now have all lost their partners that they've been with, a big part of their life. So from what I can understand, it is much better for the family left behind if things are organised, if the people left behind know exactly what to do. Do you know what I mean? It just takes all the stress out of a really stressful situation, which it was. But
so give me 3 things that mum did really well.
Okay, so I think she just communicated with us really well about exactly what she wanted in her service.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
So one of them, she wanted both my brothers to speak as as the eulogies, grandkids to speak if they wanted to.
I was about to say,
no.
Are we forcing?
So they all went up on stage. They didn't have to speak. It was just, that was the option.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want other people to speak. She wanted, family, sons, and she wanted, so my nephews and nieces came up on stage and spoke. My son played bagpipes before and after, which you would have seen. Daughter played piano, and both my brothers spoke. And there wasn't to be any hymns. It wasn't in a church. It was very clear. It was structured, which is what my mum was.
Okay.
Very organised, very structured. So, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. And what about end of life?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, well, that was another, and I guess it's really soon to be talking about it, but it's relevant, right? So Mum, and I think I've learned a lot from this, Mum she was in quite a bit of pain and she didn't have any quality of life, so she didn't want
To prolong that.
to prolong it. And so it was about just why you've got the quality of life. Oh, so she chose, she's in her early 80s and she had recently had recovered from breast cancer, but it was really aggressive and it progressed. So she made a decision that she didn't want to be treated for that. She just wanted to enjoy the life that she still had while she could, rather than go through that. And being older and she didn't respond well to medicines and stuff like that. She just wanted to make the best of the time she had without the excessive health impacts of doing those kind of chemotherapy and stuff like that. Because even this mild medications made her quite unwell. So
yeah, and it reduces your quality of life, right?
Yep.
You would rather have 3 good months with your family than 5 years of just being constantly in pain. And
yeah.
Okay.
And I think the other
That's
thing
a brave decision.
Oh gosh, yeah. And we agreed. I mean, it wasn't for us to agree, but it's not something that you think about. And then the other thing, of course, is that the big thing I've learned is that you need to put things aside while you go and do that thing with the special person, rather than we went up there and it was like, you just put work to one side and you just be in there in that moment, and that's all that you're thinking about with the other close people that are around. So in that regard, just not having any regrets. I mean, the only thing that I think about now is the last time that I said goodbye, because as you do, I had stayed overnight and then you leave in the morning and you're rushing off and you're saying, love you, Mum, I'll see you later. And you just think that you're going to be able to go back and see her again next weekend, but it didn't end up being like that. Sorry. So it's got to make the most of it, eh? Really?
Yeah, it just gives that perspective on life, right? And what's important and what are you spending your hours on and your energy on.
Yep.
And I think that's closely related to what we do, because in a way, our job is to help people get into their homes or get an investment properties to create that quality of life in the future or for themselves now. But it's not to put them in the worst of position where they feel so tied up in their day-to-day work that they can't leave work to spend that quality time with their loved ones, or that they're so busy working that they don't see their children grow.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea behind of what we do and why we do it, is to help people get much better quality of life going forward.
Well, I think my brother put it in really good perspective, and it was good to have these conversations with him, is that with your mum's got this a short amount of time, which is that we knew that, but I had to go. It's not where my family was. My children and wife is back in Palmerston North, so I had to sort of leave them with. Not leave them with my wife. I mean, I'm sure she's very good at looking after the kids.
I'm sure she's very capable.
She's going to hear this probably, and I'll get the hairy eyeball. So that they also stepped up, right? They had to be comfortable that they were on their own, and I went up and saw Mum and spent. The kids have got a long period ahead of them. In theory, we don't know that for sure, but they do. And generally speaking, Mum had a short amount of time. Yeah, makes time. Go and spend that time with your mum, and then we can, catch up with that other stuff later.
Which I absolutely said the same thing, I'm sure. I know you were so keen to come back to work and podcasts and everything else. And I said, no, James, I'm putting my foot down. I don't want to see you around
right, you
here.
did, didn't you? Yeah.
And I said, please go up there and spend as much time as possible with Mum.
Yeah, and that wouldn't have worked coming coming in hindsight. It would just, and I did take my stuff up to Taupo, because you can work from anywhere. Took my monitor and all that kind of stuff up there. I never even took it out of the car. Just walked in the door and realised, okay, this is not about that anymore. It's just, I'm going to check the odd thing and just. But yeah, no, you can't do anybody a good service in that sort of situation.
By multitasking, right? That's not the time to be multitasking.
Even at a good time, even when I'm 100% operating, I'm not a very good multitasker. So, yep, it was a special time.
I'm so sorry, James, once again, but that's so good that you drew some life lessons out of it. And, for me, as I recap, what we've talked about is basically being organised in life and in death. Really helps people to deal with whatever they're dealing with at that time, to make things as seamless as possible.
Absolutely.
Because the last thing you want is people, wondering what did you want? What sort of ceremony did you want? What sort of, things you wanted there.
And so we need to encourage people, even though they don't want to, just for the benefit of the people that get left behind. I know that sounds selfish, but because they don't know what you want. They don't. And then we've all got different ideas of what you want. And so how do we decide who's correct if you haven't written it down or discussed it? Not so much, some kind of agreement that you've actually written by yourself without anybody else saying what they think, just your intentions.
But no, that's one of the toughest things you probably had to deal with in your life.
Oh, yes, it is.
But what blows my mind is that you're sitting here 3 days later and you just incredible.
Oh, wow.
You've got amazing strength, James. But look after yourself.
I will indeed. Don't worry. It's just great to be back around you guys. So
yeah, feed off my energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry for this episode if it came across a bit doom and gloom, but the important message is be organised, get your affairs in order, as they say, and, whether that's financial, emotional, physical, whatever you need to get sorted, very, very important to get it sorted when you're still sound of mind and you can tell people what you want and how you want it, just like your mama did.
Yeah, and, you can talk to us cool people about it if you want to. It doesn't have to be, I'm sure we can wrangle a way to make it work out for us somehow. But, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you, James.
No worries.
Bye. And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.